Let's understand transitions in CSS. First of all, we create a container inside of HTML with the class of container. Now let's add a hover effect to that container by targeting the container and giving it a width of 100 pixels, a height of 100 pixels, and a background color of yellow. Now let's say once we hover over the container, we want to change the background color to brown, for example. And now you can see we are hovering over the container and the container or the background color basically turns brown. But let's say we want to have a transition from yellow to brown, because right now this is really an abrupt change when we are hovering over the yellow container. So let's add a transition property, and there are different properties to define different properties of a transition. And the first one is the transition property we want to animate. And let's say in our case, we want to animate our background color. We could either say all, which would obviously animate all properties, or we can select a specific one like the background color, for example. Now let's add a transition duration. So basically, how long does it take for the transition to complete? And in our case, we can, for example, say 0.5 seconds. And as you can see, if we are hovering over our yellow container, we already have a change of the background color within 0.5 seconds. So now there are also different transition timing functions. And to really understand transition timing functions, I have this graph for you. There exists, for example, an ease timing function, an ease in timing function, ease out timing function, ease in out timing function, or a linear timing function. So let's take a look at a timing function, for example, by using transition timing function. And now we can obviously already see some different cubic Bezier timing functions. And now you also have ease in out, and ease out, and linear as well. And obviously linear just means the animation will play at a constant speed. If you have ease in, for example, right here, you are basically starting slow and then you're getting faster. If you have ease out, you're starting pretty fast and you're getting slower towards the end of the animation. The ease timing function basically starts pretty slow, gets a lot faster, and ends pretty slow again. So we could, for example, say, let's use ease, the normal ease timing function. So basically this one. Or we can also use ease in, out. Doesn't really matter for demonstration purposes. And let's save that and go back to our animation. We're going to hover over it, and now we have a different timing function. You can also add a transition delay, for example, which just delays the animation. So we can, for example, say, let's wait 1 second, and after 1 second, the animation will play. So let's hover over it, it'll take a second, and now the animation will play. And now there also exists a shorthand property for all of those properties, which is basically just the transition property. For the first argument, we can define the property we want to animate, which is the background color in our case, but we could also say all. So let's use all to show you that that works as well. Now the second argument is the transition duration. Let's say we want to have 1 second this time. Now we can use a timing function. Let's use ease in and out again, and let's use a transition delay of 2 seconds, for example. We're going to delete those properties to see that this really works, and now we'll save our file and we'll hover over our yellow container once it appears. So now our yellow container appears, 2 seconds, and the animation will play. And this is all you need to know about transitions in CSS.